Hey, welcome back. Today we're on day 26 and I am answering a question that I get asked all the time, which I'm super excited to dive into, and that is how did I break free from what was expected and what kind of pressures, expectations were put on me to create the life that I dream of. And so if you are someone who currently feels a little bit stuck, or maybe like you're settling, or maybe you have all the things that you were told to achieve or to chase after, but you're still not feeling fully satisfied, or you're looking around and being like, is this it? I don't know if this is actually what I wanted, right? Maybe you're in that place in your life. So if you can relate to any of those things, today's video is going to be super helpful, and I'm going to be sharing, the exact things that I did to help create my present reality, which is filled with, being self-employed, traveling the world, getting to do all the things I dream of doing while making an impact and helping other people and helping the planet. So it's going to be a really exciting video. As always, as you're hopping on, drop some hearts down below, comment, say hi. If you're catching the replay, comment replay, let me know that you're here. And with that said, let's get started. I have been getting asked this question very often from women, especially, who are feeling a lot of pressures from whether it's like society or culture, or whether it's from their parents. And it doesn't matter what age they're at, so many women have still been feeling like there's these kinds of expectations placed upon them from their parents, from previous generations, and what was considered normal. And so we are in this place, like this beautiful place in the world, in our evolution, in terms of like technology and the amount of jobs and ways to make abundance, or ways to support ourselves and live different lives, is so readily available. It's so different than it was like 20 years ago, 50 years ago, right? And so what I find so often ends up limiting people is this feeling like I have to do what is expected of me, and feeling confined or constricted by, I'll just say parents, but it also relates again to society, to culture, to friends, to so many different components that are maybe pushing what they believe is normal or right. And so I know for me, let's start this with actually task one for day 26. Task one is going to be to write about the things that you heard growing up that were kind of expected of you. For some people, this was like the college degree, the white picket fence, the marriage, the happy family, and that was normal, and that was kind of the path that was laid out for them. For other people, it might look like a specific career, or like a specific kind of partner, or not traveling, like having safety, being grounded, being settled, right? All of these different things. I know for me personally, I kind of grew up with a lot of that, get the degree, get the job with benefits, settle down somewhere. Like, it wasn't about traveling, it wasn't about exploring, it wasn't about seeing the world. And I always have had that adventurous heart. I've always wanted to see as many countries as possible, to the point that it used to cause me like anxiety and pain, because I was like, I just want to see it all, and it was like hurting me to not be doing that. And so in order to break out of the expectations, in order to break out of what was normal, or what was kind of like laid out in front of me, so to speak, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of personal empowerment, a lot of reprogramming my mind and looking at what I was giving my power to. So many of us have been taught, to just believe and do exactly what authority tells us to do. Like, what do your parents tell you? What do your teachers tell you? What does the government tell you? And like, that's what you go do, right? And I'm not saying I like dismiss authority by any means, because I've always like followed the rules and respected the authority, but I've also always known that like what's in my heart is so important. And it was through my own rock bottoms and through my own like extreme anxiety and misalignment that I realized like this life isn't for me. Like I wasn't meant to live that way. And some people are. Some people love that and they feel comfortable and they're enjoying it. And if so, then that's perfect, because then they're doing exactly what's meant for them or what they feel good about. But if you're in a place where you're not feeling good and you're not feeling fully satisfied and you feel like something's missing, this is the opportunity to really tune in to your heart, to yourself, and think about, well, what is it that I truly desire? So that will be task 2 for day 26. Day 26, task 2 is to look at what do you truly desire. So in task 1, you've looked at what were the expectations that maybe you heard a lot growing up or in school of like, this is the path to take. Do this, 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 right? And this is the line. And we've all seen those like memes or those cartoons. And we've heard the quotes about the path less traveled, right? And like everyone's going this way and that one person decides to go off and like follow their heart or follow their dreams. And I personally want to encourage you to be that person in whatever way that looks like to you, because I believe in like personal empowerment and our unique gifts, our unique purpose. So we get to take that different path. That's going to actually feel really good and really fulfilling to us. So task 2 is to look at what are the things that you want to be doing. And I know we discussed this on a previous day, but really running home, like, what do you want to do? What does your life look like? For me, my life, I never dreamed about the white picket fence, the settling down with the partner, the degree, the university degree, the 9-to-5 job, the security, the benefits. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with that if that is what you desire. I just personally never did. It never really clicked for me. My desires were always like travel and seeing the world, working with tons of animals, experiencing different cultures, helping women. My dreams were always kind of that out of the box thinking. And it takes all sorts. So this isn't to compare, it's just an example. So if I were to write out on this list, like what feels the best to me, what would I want to be doing, what are the expectations, instead of looking at the expectations that were laid out for me, what are the expectations I have for myself? Because I found that there was a very big gap between what society expected and said was normal and what I actually wanted. I wanted something totally different. And so it got to the point where then I realized I'm either going to continue to suffer and live out of alignment and live a life that doesn't feel good to me just because that's what I'm supposed to do, or I take that leap of faith and I maybe push through the fear, push through the discomfort to do exactly what I know I want to be doing. And does that mean that it's always easy? Definitely not. Does it mean that everything always worked out for me? No, not really. Like a lot of times things didn't work out, but it all led me to where I am today. So in a long answer, it did actually work out for the best and exactly how it was supposed to. Because I'm continuing to follow my path and continuing to feel lit up and aligned and passionate, excited. Like the level of anxiety I used to have versus the level of anxiety I have now is totally gone, because I'm honoring my truth, I'm honoring my heart, I'm honoring my soul and my needs. So to turn into like, how did I actually do this? I've got an amazing mindset training where I shared like the exact 3-step process to reprogram my mind to help me break out of thinking the way that I was taught to think and, really step into that personal empowerment and doing things my way, and realizing I deserve to be happy. I don't believe that we were put here to suffer and struggle in a life we don't like. I believe we all deserve to be free and living the life we want. So I had to program myself to remember that and to break out of the old paradigms, the pressures from family, friends, teachers, society. Okay, so you can comment training down below. I'll pop the link down below as well. That's where I teach the exact process. And that was the foundation, because only when I believed the new story, only when I believed I deserved to live this life, then could I take the action steps where I felt more confident to actually speak up and say, you know what, that doesn't feel good for me anymore. Or, you know what, that's not the path I want to take. That doesn't feel exciting and aligned. That makes me feel miserable and really stuck. And that was what allowed me to then start to really make radical changes to my life. So I dropped out of university because I was like, I don't really know why I'm still here when I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get a piece of paper. It doesn't feel good. It's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and life is really short. And I had just lost my brother in my first year of university and really realized, like, life is so freaking short. Why am I doing something I hate right now? Or something that's not feeling good. So that was part of the push to make the changes. I also started to look at me living for my parents' expectations, or even though that's so common, right? Because all we want is our parents' love and excuse me, and to be like appreciated, to be seen by them, to make them proud. But I started to have this paradigm shift, which again, you'll learn and you'll see a lot in the mindset training if you check that out, is I started to have the paradigm shift of like, ooh, okay, me living for their expectations is going to keep me on a path that doesn't actually feel true to me. So I'm not actually going to be happy. And I personally made the shift into believing, you know what, even if me taking risks or doing things that weren't super common at the time, like it was kind of starting to be more common, but like dropping out of university to travel the world was not something anyone in my circle was doing. Like that was a bit of a shock for a lot of people around me. But I knew that if this is what lights me up and I'm going to be happier because of it, that is going to benefit my parents. That is going to benefit my friends. That is going to benefit society. It's going to benefit the world. My personal alignment with my purpose and my happiness and feeling confident and like really good about who I am and what I'm doing can only benefit other people. So I had to make that paradigm shift of, matching other people's expectations while feeling stuck and unhappy, or living my life and matching my expectations, being happier, being in a better place, which is then going to benefit everyone around me. So it's like no one's benefiting by me being miserable in a 9-to-5 job. And believe me, like I've been there. I remember when I picked up a job after my year of travel, and I was like absolutely miserable and depressed every single day. And I'd come back home to my mom and I was just the worst. I was so grumpy. I was so unhappy there. So it wasn't benefiting me or her or anyone that I was trying to fit in to what was expected. Now, when I quit that and I started doing my own coaching business and following what was in my heart, that energy, that ability for me to show up fully translated. And so everyone around me benefited from it. So it's really about seeing that like fitting in to match someone else's expectations is only beneficial if you're actually happy doing it. If you're unhappy doing it, then you're not benefiting anyone or yourself. It's not healthy for you or anyone around you. So really taking that kind of shift helped me so much to go, you know what? Like, I think people around me, and if they don't support me, that's okay too. But I know that I'm meant to do these things and it's in me doing them that I feel so much better and more aligned and confident and happy, and that is going to benefit everyone around me. So it's better for me to like break out of the norm and break out of the expectations to follow my heart, because then that's what allows me to show up more fully. So that was the process, and there's obviously so much more to it than I can explain in this video today. But I wanted to just give a quick overview because, yeah, so many people have been saying like, but like, how do you do it, right? And it's really about the mindset shift. It's about seeing that like you deserve to be living a life that you're happy about. And even if parents' pressures, or even if friends or family or society are making you feel a certain way, where is your heart gonna feel best? What are you actually here for? Because that's the point, right? We could spend our whole life living for someone else's approval, and I did that for most of my life, so I know, but I wasn't happy doing that. Or I could live my life for my own approval, for my own alignment, and be so happy and be really feeling aligned and like really be thriving doing that. So it's really a choice of who do we give our power to, and who do we believe is more important. And it's not about like defying authority. As I said, it's not about ignoring your parents or your society's wishes, but it's also like, what feels best for you? What is the life you desire to be living? What does that look like? And then chasing after that, realizing you're worthy of living that kind of life. Okay, so to wrap this up, let's just do task 3. Task 3 will be, now that in task 2 you've gotten clear on like what do you feel most excited about, what would you love to be doing each day, task 3 is going to be about what are like the first baby steps you can make. Because maybe it's not what I did. Maybe you're not like dropping out of university or quitting your job or going to travel the world tomorrow. You totally could. But maybe it's more like, okay, I do really want to be doing this kind of thing for work instead of where I am. Or I know that I'm not happy and I feel like I'm settling with these things. So here's like the first steps I can take to move towards integrating or incorporating more of what I truly want, what's truly going to make me happy. So step 3 is all about those baby steps and looking at like, what's one thing I can do this week perhaps, or what's one thing I can incorporate in my day-to-day life that's going to help me take those strides and start building or start creating or start just setting new boundaries or expectations that align with who it is you truly want to be and what it is you truly want to do on the planet. So those are your tasks for today. Again, if you want more support, make sure you check out the mindset training down below, because I go like crazy in depth on the exact process and really how to shift the programming, shift the paradigm and everything that you've been taught, and start thinking for yourself, start living the life for yourself, your dreams, not someone else's dreams. That's so important to differentiate, because you will never be happy or satisfied if you're living someone else's dreams. You're here to live your own dreams. You're here to fill what's in your heart, okay? And to chase after that. So check out that mindset training. Do the homework for today. I will see you on tomorrow's video, and I hope you're all having a beautiful day.